So today, we're going to take a look at a scenario where Mars finally gets colonized. I've been wanting to do this video for quite a while now, and I kind of hope to turn this into a series because this would be kind of fun. So let me know if you want to see it as a series, but I'm not going to yap right now. Let's just get straight to the video. So, I have this Mars map here. Of course, this is instead of my normal world map that I normally use. I got this map of Mars, which I think is pretty cool. On this channel, I do some space stuff, I do some mapping stuff, and other science stuff, just anything I'm interested in, just exploring the world and stuff. So I thought I'm gonna kind of bring together some of the niches and just do this new series. So basically, what we're gonna be doing is mapping out potential colonies and even maybe future countries on Mars. So yeah, let's get started. So it's probably about the year 2030, and countries are finally sending the first manned missions to Mars. But obviously, these journeys are extremely expensive, and it's very difficult to pack enough supplies to go to Mars and then back to Earth. So most of the people who are going here are staying here forever. And so obviously, and most likely, the first country to get here is the United States through, I don't know, NASA or SpaceX or something, but it'll probably be the United States. And NASA is a government organization. Elon Musk is very close to the government. So if they were to set up a colony, it would probably be administered or at least highly influenced by the US government, and it would basically just be a colony. And so the United States makes their first colony, or the first settlement I should say, over here by the giant canyon here. And they're gonna make it right there. This is their first settlement, and we can color the area around it blue, because that's gonna be the color of the United States. And they're going to claim the area around their settlement for their country. Keep in mind, now a lot of countries back on Earth are going to be very mad about this, because obviously you can't just go and claim a country, right? So we can color the US blue, because now they have an official colony on Mars. So I'm not really going to be doing any wars or anything on the world map, just coloring which countries have colonies, and then just coloring them the color of their colonies. Like the US is blue here, their colonies are going to be blue on Mars. But the next country, now go leave a comment and see which one you think it's going to be, but it's actually going to be China, and they're going to be creating their settlement not too far away from the US, kind of still like on the same side of the planet, but I mean, still kind of far away. It's going to be over here in this crater. They're going to make their city right here, and they're going to claim the entirety of this crater, kind of just up until these mountains and these plains here. So far we have two countries with two colonies on Mars. But now, which one will be next? But now, which countries would actually be capable of setting up a colony on Mars? So now, going back to our world map here, obviously we have our two powers that are on Mars, but which countries have actually made it to Mars and would be capable of setting up a colony? Well, apparently India's made it to Mars, and well, they're very strong country, they could definitely set up a colony there. The European Union apparently has also made it to Mars. They could definitely set up a colony. I mean, it's Europe after all, if we need to say anything else. Russia has also made it to Mars, more so the Soviet Union, but they're kind of busy right now. But also apparently the UAE has made it to Mars. For some reason, I had never heard of that mission before. But apparently the UAE has made it to Mars, and they're the first Gulf country to do so. So, I mean, cool, good for them. But to be honest, they're probably not setting up a colony anytime soon. And so for now, we're probably going to see a bit of a Cold War on Mars between the USA and China. So this is going to be China's main base on Mars. This is where they're going to be feeding in most of their supplies, all that kind of stuff. So now China is actually going to set up a second colony, you could say, and it's going to be right over here. And of course, they claim the area around it, but now they're going to create a route between their two countries, or colonies. I don't know why I said countries. But it's going to link their one base to the other. They're going to go around this area, and they'll cut across through here, and straight over to the other base. This is the first route created on Mars. And now the US is kind of falling behind, because now China has a pretty large area under their influence on Mars where they're drilling for water, resources, doing research, extracting minerals and stuff. And so what does the US do? They go and they set up another base at the base. That's a lot of bases, but at the foot of the largest mountain in the solar system, Olympus Mons. And of course, they claim the area around it, even going up the side of the mountain. And we could probably see the first person ever to climb Olympus Mons. So, I mean, that'd be kind of cool. But really, any person who does anything here is the first person to do anything on Mars. So, not really saying much. But now the US will start on their routes between their two settlements. Just kind of mapping out where the best routes would be to take. They do have to go around this canyon, of course, but they'll complete that soon. And so now we actually do have another country finally getting here, but I can guarantee you it's probably not one that you think. They're going to set up their first base right over here, and take a guess at who you think it is. Their claimed area will go as purple. I don't know why, that's kind of usually the color I use for this country. And they'll take something that looks like that. So who do you think this is? I'll give you a hint. They're in Asia. It's also Japan. Yeah, Japan now has a colony on Mars. So now there are 3 countries, and 3 very powerful countries, I might add, that are on Mars. And it's 2 Western countries. Japan is a close ally of America. And so China is feeling quite threatened by this, but China doesn't really have any allies in the same sense that America does, or even ones that could make a colony on Mars. The only one that's kind of like that is Russia, but again, they're kind of busy. And so China is just going to have to ramp up their colonizing. So what do? They start claiming the area around their trade route. I guess it's not really a trade route, but it's just the route they have between their colonies. And they start to expand upon this colony. Now, just because they're using this land as their route between their 2 colonies doesn't mean they're actually using that land exactly, like to claim it or whatever. But everything in their claimed area is stuff they're actually using and like manufacturing stuff there and putting up homes and other bases here. And with that, China actually becomes the first country to have 3 bases or settlements on Mars, as they now put another one right in the middle of the route. Basically solidifying their entire dominance over this region. They then send people into this area to kind of claim this flatter depression, the lava plains and that. So obviously China has the largest colony. I'm going to add in one more thing. It's going to be these white squares. And these are going to be settlements that are just research bases. Obviously they have research facilities in every single other one of their bases. These ones are solely just for research. Nobody actually lives there full time. Japan also has one out here. And the US, despite having 2 different regions, they only have one at least near the peak of Olympus Mons. And I'm going to leave that there. That's going to be the end of the video. So if you did enjoy it, make sure to let me know in the comments, because honestly, I would like to make this a series. Make sure you're subscribed, because we're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. It's not that much to ask, guys. It's just like 1,000 more, pretty much. We're almost at 4,000. And so if you really want to help us out, make sure you subscribe. I mean, you can like the video too, but please subscribe. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.